Hi there, and welcome to the Mundoro Capital presentation for Minds and Money on June 23rd, 2020. I'm going to take a few minutes to introduce you to the company, and I'm going to walk you through some forward-looking statements. So please take note of all forward-looking information. To give you a high-level overview of Mundoro, we are an exploration company that is focused on generating value from our assets by building partnerships with mining companies so that they can option into our projects, and where we can monetize those arrangements by collecting advanced royalty payments, exploration partner fees, and as well as future royalties off of the projects. Our focus is really the eastern portion of Europe in the Tethyan Belt. We have a strategic land position around the 100-year-old Bora mining camp in eastern Serbia, and we're really focused on two commodities, which is copper and gold. Our entire team has been built around these assets and have well over decades of experience in exploring in the region, and specifically these types of systems. So just to give you a little bit of a deeper snapshot into the business model. So we generate the targets. We know how to operate in the districts. We know what the mineral laws are. We know how to stake the ground directly from the government, also how to compete in public tenders. Once we put a property package together, we go through the basic information. We actually build together the exploration model, identify targets, and then start bringing in partners. Partnership arrangements can vary from strategic alliances, joint ventures, straight out asset sales, and we have certainly done all of those over the last few years. We do actually run during phase one most of the programs in order to give the partner a turnkey solution in the beginning of the relationship, and thereafter we hand over the keys, and the partner is responsible for not only funding, but also operating the assets in the future so that we can get back to replenishing our portfolio. We believe that this is an excellent way for shareholders to maintain dilution without having to contribute for that high-risk capital, but at the same time, be able to take advantage of upside that comes in discovery from each of the assets. This has generally worked quite well, and what you can see here is essentially what that funding arrangement looks like. The dark blue is partner funding, and the light blue is Mundoro funding. That funding is mainly around staking, generating those assets, and of course maintaining them while we are looking for partners to option into. The orange represents our corporate G&A, and as you can see, the fees that we get in the property payments, those actually do offset our management fees or our general and administrative fees. And as a result, we don't have to necessarily go into the markets on a frequent basis, and hence why our shareholder share count has been very stable over the last few years. What does that look like compared to other companies in the region? Here's an example of enterprise values. We've eliminated the cash and the debt, potential debt in other companies, just to give everyone an apples to apples comparison. As you can see, a lot of the generators really do trade around that 10 to 50 million market cap, depending on size of portfolio. And certainly we think we are very attractively priced in our current enterprise value of around 8 million. That's probably around 12 cents Canadian per share. And certainly we've seen our value trade up to 15 to 20 cents per share. And that's what we think is more reflective of the average of the group. And once we are out in the market and marketing the company a bit more actively, we feel that valuations should recover. In terms of what the explorers generally get valued at is around 100 million once there's a discovery and they're building out a resource. And certainly the royalty and streaming companies have been a very topical exploration model and investment. The companies that are generating cash flow are obviously trading in the 100+ million enterprise value, and the ones that are not generating as much cash are obviously lower down. We believe Mundoro certainly has the potential to increase to that higher valuation in the generators / royalty companies as we transition our assets. This gives you a sense of how long the Tethyan Belt is from basically, let's call it Central Europe, right into Southeast Asia. This also coincides with the one road, one belt strategy of China. And as you can see, there's been a lot of investment dollars that have gone along this basically conduit to connect Asia to Europe in terms of trade. When we circle in and we really focus down on Serbia and Bulgaria, essentially what you see is the two main mining camps, and that's really Timok and the Panagorishta region, as well as in the Mergin region of the Rhodops. That's really where you see the majority of the activity in the region for exploration as well as mining. The entire area is well connected through rail, which is the lines that you see on the specific slide here, as well as smelters and ports. And that's very meaningful, particularly for companies that are interested in developing and getting into production. These types of infrastructure pre-spends are a phenomenal way of leveraging what's existing in order to bring down the capital expenditures to get an asset into production. Our portfolio is quite big, and so you can't really think of it as any one particular asset. It's really the portfolio approach and giving investors an opportunity to invest in both copper and gold. Some projects are more advanced than others, and of course, we always have applications into the districts in order to replenish our pipelines. Currently, our biggest program right now is with Vale, and we do have another program with Jogmec, which is in Bulgaria, where there are applications in the country. And finally, we do have a series of projects that we are currently in discussions with third parties regarding the potential optioning out of those projects. This, I think, is an important slide because it gives you a sense of really what Serbia looks like and what Bor looks like in terms of a community. It's a wonderful place to be doing exploration and mining, a very welcoming community, and it shows you what 100 years of investment can do in order to build confidence in the sector. This gives you a snapshot of what essentially each of the project areas look like in terms of square kilometers. It's a pretty extensive package and covers, I'm going to say, a good 1/3 of the entire district, which is a very attractive opportunity, especially for a lot of the majors who are doing district scale exploration programs. This gives you a sense of what our core facility looks like. There's been a lot of drilling over the years, and as a result, we've got a really good facility where the partners can leverage and take advantage of as they build their presence in the region. In terms of one of the really exciting areas is right in the heart of the Bor district, which is around the Bor mines. They're currently owned as a partnership between a company called Zijin Mining as well as the Serbian government. And really around that 5-kilometer radius, which is really one of the most important parts of these types of intrusive systems, you really want to get close to where the main structure is and where the main intrusions have occurred. We are within that 5-kilometer radius with our project called Borsko, which is on the west side here of the basically the Bor complex. You can see that yellow dot basically outline where that area is. And of course, the very well-known discovery in the region is with Jogmec. Now, this next slide gives you a 3D view of what it looks like beneath the ground. So what you can see is a few spot holes that have tested targets, and then really the center of the activity has occurred around here. And this is what we call target number 1. And in the background, you can see what Chukotopeki looks like. You can see that we've just started to scratch the surface of what the alteration system looks like. And really, we believe that deeper drilling, and as you can see compared to other systems in the region, really deeper drilling is needed in order to test whether there can be a porphyry system associated with this alteration zone. This is what the roads to the site looks like. These are back forestry roads, so you can pretty much get around in all of this terrain. This gives you a sense of what the Vale projects look like. These are 4 license areas that wrap around the east side of the Bor complex and then down to the southwest and west of Chukotopeki. This is a program that we're going to be starting in the second half of 2020 with Vale, and we're excited that the company is going to be in Serbia drilling and exploring for more of these copper, gold, porphyry, and epithermal systems. In terms of the projects that are available for optioning, this is a great opportunity for our shareholders because these projects, if one partner leaves, it comes back 100% to the company, and it builds on data. And as we all know in exploration, data is extremely important in trying to piece together the clues for where these systems lie, because a lot of this exploration is undercover. So these project areas that you see here on the slide, they've had about 3.2 million of investment US from Freeport, who unfortunately had to leave the project area in March of this year due to the circumstances with the global health pandemic and the repercussions in the markets. And as a result, these licenses came back to us 100%. And as you can see here, there are some really good target areas that can continue to be built upon. And we have gotten interest from third parties about exploring and optioning these areas. Basically, what that looks like underneath, this gives you a schematic of what the data looks like. Again, just a few target holes have been drilled, a very extensive area of about 8 kilometers. Lots of room for a porphyry discovery, and really what is needed is the capital in order to continue drill testing, and that's what we're talking to third parties about. The Železnik license, we think, is a really interesting opportunity. It's just north of the Majdanpek mine. This is an area that has been historically mined for about 30 years. That's Majdanpek. And then just to the north, about 1.5 kilometers, there is an alteration system. There is a proven porphyry system that has been discovered. Mundoro has drilled out a portion of the west zone and the east zone, and now we are talking to third parties about further drilling this area. What you can see in the west zone here is that there is a really nice chargeability anomaly, as well as in the east zone, really good geochemistry, and we feel that this is an area of potential for, again, bringing in another partner. Moving on to the Panagurishta region in Bulgaria, this is the next really important mining district in the region. We believe that this is an interesting area because most of the porphyry mines in Bulgaria are located in this region. It's a volcanic complex. We know that the old Radka mine, which sits in the Svoboda license area, had previously been mined. It does have a historical mined production rate of 6 million tons of 1% copper and 3 grams per ton gold, which is not dissimilar from currently what Chelopech is mining, which is Dundee's project just to the northwest of this project area. This is an area that we would love to be exploring in, and we've been building community relations and looking forward to signing a contract with the government. What that looks like in terms of data, I think is actually really interesting to see. It helps a great deal to have license areas that are well worked in terms of data. It really focuses a team on where the potential exists. Certainly you can see in the orange colored blocks, that's basically at around the 500 meter level. There appears to be resources that remain from prior drilling, and what we believe is that there's current existing down dip extent available to explore for in this license area. So we're quite excited about this project, and we think it's something that would bring a lot of value not only to the local communities but also to the entire region. Our approach for responsible mineral development we do take quite seriously. It's very important for us to build good relationships with local communities so they understand why we're there and what we're trying to achieve. And we do that right from the beginning in order to create that trust that we think is an important part of our business. Our team is a very precise team, meaning that everyone here has been brought on board specifically for their skill sets on exploring for porphyry and epithermal systems, for running large company programs, dealing with all different types of contractors, government experience in terms of attaining permitting. And so all of that has come together under this one umbrella of Mundoro that we then manage for all of our partners, the various programs. We think this is a fantastic opportunity. We're trading at approximately 10 million market cap. I said that's about 12 cents. More realistically, we have in the past traded around 15 to 20 cents. And we think that's a more comfortable valuation based on our peers, the value of our projects, the value of our programs, and as well as our treasury and ability to continue with this strategy. We're always happy to answer questions, and we look forward to speaking with each and every one of you.